personal image. So, I don't know if there's anyone who's willing to share. When you hear the word declutter, what comes to mind?
To let go.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Sorting.
Okay.
Removing
Clearing up space.
everything.
Pamela, I didn't get that. Sorry.
I said
Clearing.
unnecessary things.
Okay, thank you. All adult answers are correct, and you're all correct. So, we are talking decluttering, like all of you have mentioned, letting go, removing unnecessary things. So, the definition I went with is decluttering is stuff you don't need leaving your home. And that is just it. Whatever you don't need needs to go. There are sometimes you think you need certain things, but it's important that you evaluate and know this needs to leave and let it make its way out of your home, your space. So what decluttering is not shifting stuff. You might move things from maybe your closet to a suitcase, or if it is your dining area, you move some items to another area. That is not decluttering. You're just moving items. Decluttering is not organizing. Like mentioned, it is letting go stuff getting out of your home, maybe to someone else, or maybe being dumped. And decluttering requires effort and decision making. We usually have sentiments, we get attached to items. They will bring back memories. So sometimes it becomes difficult to move on. But it is important that you acknowledge it is time for maybe some item to get another user and work through the process and let it go. So you move past those emotional blockades. So, what is clutter? My definition. What is clutter? While we are talking decluttering, what is clutter?
Unwanted
Anyone?
things.
Unwanted things. Thank you. Anyone else? Please feel free to share.
For me, I would say it's things that you don't use. You don't feel the
Yeah.
need to keep using.
I
Thank you,
agree
Claire.
with Claire. Things you're not using.
So, clutter, things we don't use. It could also be excessive possessions that we have, and they will create disorganization and stress. So, clutter, in short, is anything you cannot keep under control. Like the illustration we got, the closet is out of control, so there's a lot of clutter. And of course, with clutter, you cannot be disorganized. Sorry, you cannot be organized. You will have a messy place. If you're looking for something, I'm sure it will be very difficult to find what you want to wear. And in the icebreaker, they asked us what we need to let go of. So we have different types of clutter. There's physical clutter, like you see here. You will probably have clothes, maybe items in your kitchen that you don't need. I remember most of us have parents that like to hoard things, and my mother is one of them. There are times you'd find a number of things on the dining table. She will keep old tins of Blueband, and she thinks they can be reused, but it's important that we. So now, for me, part of my job was to get all those things and burn them. So that can also be clutter. Physical clutter, you will have digital clutter. Some of us have mentioned excess emails, files, screenshots, photos that you're still keeping. Maybe it's about time you do some cleanup and create space. Then we also have mental clutter. There are thoughts that you are still holding on to that you should not be really holding on to. Maybe you need to get therapy. One of the ways I used to cope, I write to get things out of my head. So all that, you have information overload, all that mental clutter, also emotional clutter. So we have different types of clutter. But today, I hope we begin our journey working towards getting rid of all this clutter. The most important thing is to get started. I believe when you get started, the journey, it gets easier with time. So there are a number of things, of reasons why we hold on to things. I also believe, I believe in name it and tame it. So sometimes if you don't know why you do decision, whatever issue that you need to work around, maybe it's an area of struggle or a vice that you need to let go of, like hoarding, collecting clutter. I hope my internet is still stable and you can hear me. So some of the reasons why we hold on to things, we get emotionally. Since today we are talking a lot about your closet, but this can also apply to other areas of your life. You will have emotional attachment to clothing. I've also been a person in the past, oh, my friend gave me this, so it has sentimental value. I have outgrown things, but I'm still holding on to it. A few years back, they showed me a dress I wore to one of my mother's friends. I was a maid. I think I was like probably 9 years old, but we kept the dress. And I got to see it recently until I told myself, you know what, this dress has to go. So I passed it on to someone else. So we get emotionally attached to things and we keep holding them, and yet we don't use them because of the memory. And when you let go, you feel like part of you is going with that item, but it's okay. It's okay to let go and allow it to be used by someone else. Then some of us just have hoarding tendencies. You want to collect, collect, collect. And you know, hoarding is it's a disorder. I hope we all know it's a disorder. And it's apparently it's linked to causing anxiety and certain compulsive behaviors. So it's important that we work through the struggles, make conscious decisions, not to hoard. You see items, you begin the journey, and you think you're getting back. Allow yourself to give away things, sell if you can. But I take selling with a bit of caution because I think you might get caught up into, oh, this can make me money and begin collecting more items. So I take the option of selling with a pinch of salt. Then there's also the belief of this can serve me in future or I'll wear it someday. That will have some of us collect items. It is important that we realize when you're working towards achieving a functional closet, you work with, you look at your current lifestyle. If it is a size, there's a size that you aspire to have, and you're probably working towards that. But if you're not yet there, it is not recommended that you begin buying for a size you anticipate. Embrace the present, dress for now, consider your lifestyle. I might be a mom, maybe I'm expecting, and right now my closet requires me to dress a certain way. So ensure that you fit your lifestyle so you also don't spend on things that you don't need and will not use. There's also a fear of scarcity, scarcity mindset. It might be just in case I might need this item. You don't exactly have a plan for it, but you think it will be useful in a few days, maybe a few years to come, and you're planning for it. I don't find that as well very wise to spend money on it. It will actually not be useful at all. It becomes clutter. So if you're not going to use it, It's better that you don't spend your money on it. Also, a question that I really like to ask. Also, I think I've thought about it when I was beginning this journey. Maybe if I can ask, some of you have, from people that have attended previous sessions, we've often had it coming up. Since we are talking about closet, what percentage of your closet do you use? Okay, roughly, how many items do you have in your closet? And when you look at all that, what percentage of your closet do you use intentionally? I hold this bag, I wear these shoes, I wear these clothes. Am I talking alone?
No,
No.
I
Please give
think
me
I
some
use like
answers.
No.
60% of my closet.
60, okay.
Yeah, the rest is waiting for me to lose weight.
Can I share?
Yes,
Yes.
please.
Well, mine is 95%. Why? Because each time I get something new, I give away something that I've not used or something I feel I will not need.
Wow, Pamela, all of us should aspire to be like you. Actually, be like you. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. So why I ask that, you find that if you keep collecting things that you don't use, first of all, you spend a lot of money. If you're to do some mathematics, depending on how much you spend on each item, maybe an average, how much money is lying there that is not put to use. Yeah. So maybe that is something that you can think about while you make purchases of things that you're not going to use right now. Maybe that money could be put to use elsewhere, maybe in a unit trust, and it's generating for you some income. And also getting things, right now, I really have a problem with people that litter. So whenever I see litter, I keep thinking of all this garbage that we keep collecting and just throw away clothes, shoes, and when you listen to all these things that are happening to the environment, and also when you look at fast fashion, the cost of fast fashion, there are countries that have child labor because of fast fashion. So it's when you look at all those things and understand that whole cycle, it's important that we make cautious decisions, purchases of items that we need and that we shall use, but also work towards becoming very organized. It would be good for you to have a closet that you can get into, easily identify something that you want to use, and actually make use of it. You don't have to go through layers and layers of clothes to find something that you want. Sometimes you might even fail to find it. So in my reading, I came across a concept called container concept. And like you see a container, for example, your closet, whatever space that you have where you keep items is a container. You need to start seeing it as a container. And the capacity that it can hold is that if you have anything that is falling out, maybe you don't have space for it. So that container is supposed to keep things, to contain your items and keep things under control. So it will control spread of clutter. My first slide had an image of a closet. So if your closet is that size, please work towards filling only that space that you have. If you need to, like Pamela said, if you need to get an item and you don't have space for it, maybe you need to first create space for it and then, yeah, get a new item. And this applies for everything. We are going to go through a data framework that you can use so you can work towards achieving this in your closet. So we've talked about the cost of clutter. You will waste a lot of time looking for something to wear. Of course, it will also affect your confidence. If you had a closet that looks like the one that we had, or maybe your home, I've ever visited someone in the past and they had clothes everywhere in the sitting room, and you don't want to be that kind of person. I'm sure you'd not even be very comfortable having people visit. So your confidence will be affected. You waste a lot of time looking for an item. Then money, you're wasting a lot of money on things that you don't need. It will cause you decision fatigue, looking for items, that whole process. It's really exhausting. And of course, it will affect your personal image and style, something that we are working towards improving. So I hope from this session, we all work towards decluttering, not just your closet, even when my major focus is that, but even every other area of our life. That phone, your home, let your dining table be free of all those unnecessary things. So every unnecessary item competes for your attention. So you'd not want unnecessary things in your closet. Yeah. So at this point, I'd like to invite Philippa to take us through the decluttering framework. Thank you for listening to me. And over to Philippa.
Yes, thank you, Rose. Thank you. I hope I'm loud and clear.
Yes, we can hear you.
Can Susan Kanje listen to me? Can she hear me? Susan,
Susan, please confirm.
confirm you can hear me? Oh, I think
Philippa,
she
we
can't
can hear
hear me,
you.
but you can hear me. Yes, hi everyone. My name is Philippa Kendinga. You can as well call me Pippa. I am obsessed with two things. One is intentional organizing and interior decoration. That is me. I guess that's my passion. And I believe that's why Rose called me here. Thank you for the opportunity. Before we dive into the whole decluttering, I would like us to do a small exercise, just very quick in the chat, or one or two people can tell us the answer. This is about our closet. Rita had asked earlier about what you want to declutter, and people gave different options. So me, today I'm focusing on the closet. The decluttering for today will be on the closet. So in our chat, can we express with emojis, when you stand in front of your closet, what does it make you feel? When you walk into your, I don't know if it's a walk-in closet, if it is a corner in your room, how do you feel when you look at it? Someone, you can just put the emojis in the chat and you see how you feel about them, about your closet. Or I can start with my own closet. I feel somewhat satisfied that it is okay. So I can give an emoji of that side smile, like a side look, because when the mouth is looking on that side. That's the emoji I could put there. Oh, someone is winking. Someone are these adorable eyes of their sad? Rita's emojis. Oh, they're wearing Claire Katsine's emoji. Wow, this is interesting. Yes, I'm glad you're expressing all this. So yes, personally, I believe a calm closet equals a calm morning, you know. I can go back to, there's a rule in my father's house managed by my mother. There is no going to sleep when when there are dirty dishes in the sink. When I was growing up, I thought it was a burden. But when I got to stay in my own space, I got to understand that when the sink is clean, your day is going to be okay because you want to be somewhere thinking about the dirty dishes you left there. So the same applies to the closet. If it is organized and it's clutter free, you're going to have calm days for sure. I totally agree. So I'm going to give you a simple 3-step system to help you manage your closet from clutter. So the 3-step basically starts from sort, to decide, to reset. So step one will be sort, and we shall have like the 4-pile method to it. In the 4-pile method, I know some of us may not be within the spaces of our closet, but imagine you are standing in front of your closet. We are going to have 4 piles in front of us. The first pile, we shall label it keep. The second pile, we shall label it donate or sell. The third pile, we shall label it repair. Then the last one, we shall label it trash. So I don't know what you're going to use. You can use boxes to act as to hold your piles, or I don't know if you all know what a tononoza is, that Nigerian title bag. Then anything you can use, or you can just arrange them in order on the floor or on your bed. So we shall start with number 1 of the 4 piles. The first one is keep. So you will start with, you pick one item at a go. Don't just pick everything. You overwhelm yourself. So you can just pick one item, you look at it, you're like, does this fit me? Does this, do I wear it more often? Okay. Do I love how I feel in it? Like if I put it on, do I feel like a boss babe? Do I feel like a diva? Am I going to turn heads? I mean, turn heads in a good way. So if that outfit makes you feel like that, like it fits you currently, someone talked about size anticipation. At this moment, we're not talking about size anticipation. We're talking about what fits us at that moment. So if all that is falling in that category of fitting you right at that moment, of you wear it often and you love how you feel in it, you can keep it. Throw it in that box of ours called keep. So keep on with each item as you go on in your closet. Okay. Then the second pile, let's say we have picked item number 2 from your closet. The second pile is labeled donate or sell. If it is in a good condition, but it's the wrong size, okay, or it's for the wrong season, I know you might find some of us have lived abroad and we have those warm clothing, winter and all. And then when we came back to Uganda, we carried all of them, but you've never put them on. They are just there because the climate here does not favor those warm things. So really, you could just give it rest and put it in that donate thing. Mind you, if we are putting things in that donate box, like I said, it has to be in good condition. You're not going to donate something to someone when it's torn, when it's weary. It's not nice. You're doing this out of goodwill, but it has to be nice. Then we shall go to the next pile, the third one, which is repair. So in the repair pile, there we have items that we love. I could talk about the sentimental items. I had Rose talk about something like a friend did you something. Of course, it was a gift. You can't just let it go. They always say a gift is a gift, so you keep it there for remembrance. We could keep that too, but you find probably it needs an adjustment. Maybe the buttons fell off. You could repair them. It needs something that can be altered or repaired, we can put that in the repair option. I always, whenever I'm sorting my own things, probably I've lost some weight and some clothes need some fitting and they still work. I do what? I keep them in that repair place and take them to the tailor to work on. Then the last pile, the fourth one is the trash pile. If you had t-shirts that have holes, mind you, there are holes that are not the damaged design. There are those little holes that just come out of nowhere. Something that is stained, where would you still be keeping a cloth that was stained? Matter of fact, why even still putting it on? Then something that's stretched out, there are those clothes that keep stretching out as time goes on. There are those, I don't know how to call the material, those nice dresses, they keep stretching and stretching as the years go by. It was short, but now it's like below the knee. So things like that, that are unwearable, you have to let them go, put them in the trash pile. So those that works for the first step of sorting. We shall sort them in the keep, the donate, the repair, and then the trash. I hope we are still together. So
Yes, we are. We are still
thank you.
together.
Yes, we are.
So going to the second step, the second step is called decide, the decide step. Okay. Here is the decision filter. So remember, we had our piles that we had where we sorted the clothes, keep, which was number one. So this second step will help us filter the keep pile, what you've kept. Of course, what you've kept, you may not need to keep everything that you've kept. So you need to still filter that. Okay. So in the decision, there are three filters still. I think you can see them there. Fit filter, feel filter, and then the frequency filter. So with the fit filter, like I'd mentioned it before, what does it fit me right now, currently on my body? Does it fit me? I don't have to squeeze into it. Rita, you mentioned about your pants. Donate them, girl. Donate already. Do not keep. Donate. And don't keep it more. What someone talked about size anticipation. You're there working on your summer body. Summer has reached, and the body has not adjusted. You are keeping that one jean for your summertime, for your summer body, but my dear, it's not moving. I would advise you put it in a certain pile, probably in the donate pile. When your summer body adjusts, then you shall buy jeans that time. Then we could move to the feel filter. How do you feel when you put on this outfit? Do you feel confident in it? Like I said, does it make you feel like a boss babe? Does it make you feel good about yourself? Do you feel very confident, or you feel, yeah, no? Like if you feel hesitant about it, I don't think it's meant to be in. Yeah. Then the frequency filter. How often have you put on this in the last 12 months? In the last 12 months or in the last 1 year? How many times did you put on this outfit? So someone is going to ask, but we have seasonal outfits, probably traditional outfits like the Mishananas, the Gomesis, and you put on occasionally. Probably there's that dress you put on for a wedding, the gown or something. We can give an exception for that. Your seasonal outfit can be kept somewhere, because I personally, if I put on a dress for a wedding this year, let's say I put it on in February, I will not put it on again for another wedding in the same year. I'll put it on again like next year. So that's the thing about seasonal outfits. But if it doesn't fit anymore, probably you need to also let go of it. So then when we are done with deciding what we are going to keep, we have to go to step 3 to reset ourselves. In step 3 here, it is about making it work and making it stick. So this system that we have built for ourselves, we have to make it stick, you know? We have to make it work no matter what. That's the whole thing about decluttering. Because if you set yourself and then in 1 month you're back to zero, you didn't declutter. You did not. So we need to create a system to make this work. And the system has a few things there, a few components, that is categorizing, front facing, and the hanger trick. I will start by categorizing. So you have finished sorting out your closet. You're now going to put back whatever you're keeping, you're putting it back in your closet. So for your life to be easy, it would be best to categorize your clothes according to dresses, hang them by dresses, hang them by tops, hang them by pants. If you have shelves, put your t-shirts alone, put your pants alone, put your skirts alone. That is easy for you to identify where they are. So that when you see how you've arranged them, your brain scans faster what you need and it's easy to find it. You're not flipping and flipping, clothes looking for just a dress and you find it in between some pants, some t-shirts, some, it's a bit chaotic. So that is the bit about categorizing. You keep your things accordingly so that dresses on dresses, tops on tops, trousers on trousers. Then the other component about making the system work is something they call front facing. Okay. Front facing is let's say having every item you've arranged 100% visible as immediately you set your eyes on it. Okay. I'm going to make you think in the terms of a clothing store or a packed suitcase. Okay. I know many of us, if not all of us, have been to a clothing store. I don't mean a boutique. I mean a clothing store. In this case, that we have the likes of LC Waikiki. We have the likes of Numero Uno, Woolworth. We have the likes of Mr. Price. We have all those fancy places, fancy shopping places. And when you go into a clothing store, there's a way they arrange the clothes. The way you see it is what they call front facing. Okay. Everything faces forward. What do I mean forward? You see how those hangers are placed? The hook of the hanger faces inside. Let's say if it's by a wall, it is facing the wall. Okay. There's a way they all face in a certain way. They're like all placed horizontally. Okay. Because when you enter that store, you easily see what you're looking for. And for instance, for a store, they are put according to sizes. But now, like for you in your own closet, you're going to categorize them according to dresses, according to tops. So you could easily find your tops in that front-facing method. And you get to choose and you scan and choose what you want in a few minutes when you walk into that store. You're not digging out stuff, okay? Then compared to a packed suitcase, if you pack your clothes in a suitcase, trust me, you're going to spend time digging out what you want from your suitcase. It happens. Okay. Most likely you're going to pick out what you're seeing on top. Maybe if you've categorized these things and you folded these things accordingly in your suitcase. But if you've not done that, trust me, you always pick out what you see on top because you don't want to waste time looking for what to put on. Because if you have to move three items, three or more items to see just one item, then that is not front facing. Okay. So the trick is organize your closet in a way those clothing stores organize their clothes. That is easy for you to pick out when you're looking for it. It's not hard. It's very easy. Just have your clothes categorized in a certain way. Even the hangers, let them. I know someone saying, so that sounds like OCD, but OCD is also healthy. It will help you, trust me. It will help you. And with when we are done with that front facing, there's something called the hanger trick. The hanger trick can also be called the 90-day closet test. Unfortunately, I think there was a typing error there. It should be called the 90-day closet test. Yes. So when you've done your clothes in the front facing method, you've aligned them, you've categorized them, they're all looking horizontal, when you've turned your hangers backwards, okay? So this hanger trick is going to be like an audit test for your closet, for your decluttering process, okay? You've put your hangers facing inside. The hook is facing backwards. Backwards, I mean that hanger hook is facing inside, let's say inside the wardrobe or inside the wall, okay? So you only turn that hanger when you put on an item. For instance, let's say tomorrow I am going somewhere. I pick out a dress. It was in the facing backward. So now when I've done putting it on, I've washed it and I'm putting it back, I'm going to face that hanger in a different direction, like in a forward way. It won't face the same way it was before. So I'll keep doing that for all the outfits that I'm going to pick out from the closet for 90 days. Those are 3 months. Okay. Because now we are going into July tomorrow. So like July, August, September. So at the end of September, you're going to review your closet. It's easy, guys. It's not hard. Trust me. At the end of September, you will look at your closet. You will see all the hangers that are facing inside and then the ones that are facing outside. So the ones facing inside are those ones that are backward. Then the ones facing outside are the ones that are facing forward. Okay. So for all the hangers facing forward, you've put on that outfit. You've put on that outfit. That means that outfit is part of your life. Like you always put on that. You always go for that outfit. So that's like a keep that outfit. Okay. Remember, we're trying to manage our system here. Okay, because you can't have a system working and then you don't audit it at the end of after a certain period of time to see if it's actually working. Okay. So now for the hangers that are facing backward, that you didn't change their position at all, that means you didn't touch that outfit in 90 days. You didn't touch that outfit in 90 days. So that means you have to review your whole thing, your whole process of, do I really need this? Once again, we have those outfits we don't normally put on. I call them the seasonal outfits. So when you're categorizing your closet, put your outfits in a certain way. You can put those dresses that you always put on, you can put them in one place. Then your seasonal outfits can be at the end of the closet, like at the extreme, probably right or extreme left. So that you'd know these are my seasonal outfits and these are my everyday outfits. Now, in your everyday outfits, if there are those that you didn't put on in the 90 days, you need to question those outfits. You need to really review, do I really need this? Or I need to give it out? Or I need to let it go? Okay? Yeah, so that is it. That is it for the 3-step. I can welcome any question right now before we conclude. I saw someone saying, Rita, you can help me
Read what's in the chat.
yeah.
Claire says, wow, that hunger trick, you need determination. That's true. Live, love, laugh is saying, loving the hunger trick. Okay. Yeah, those are the only. My
Yeah,
question, though,
yes.
is how do you keep yourself motivated? Because right now, after the session, we'll be very
Mm,
excited to go declutter
yes.
and then go back to default. Especially me, I will eventually just go back to default setting. So how do we keep motivated?
I think how you keep motivated is reminding yourself, why did you start all this in the beginning? Okay. Because this could be a new behavior that you've started. So you of course realize you had an issue in the beginning. So and then you committed yourself to changing it, to take out clutter. So you have to remind yourself always, it's okay, you can always backslide and you can always restart until you get a grip on stuff. So I think the best motivation you can have is to keep reminding yourself why you started all this in the first place. Yeah, if you want, you can always hit me up and I remind you.
I have a comment, Philippa. Rose here.
Yes.
Um, in response to Rita, what
Mm,
also keeps me motivated is I like a clean, organized environment. Yeah? After
mm,
experiencing a feel of that whole organized, like it's easy to find what I want and it's clean and it's organized, I would want to maintain the same. So that the desire for the same also keeps me motivated to
yes.
work towards getting rid of what I don't need.
Mm, true, true. So to like add on that, because the first time you do it, you will definitely feel some kind of relief. You will like what you see, and you'd want that to keep on. You'd always want that to happen. So I'm imagining, okay, let's do this. When you organize your closet, take a picture of it when it's organized. And then when you feel demotivated, like you have your compass is not moving, go back to your picture and see how when you organize it the first time, how it looked like. You'd want it to keep like that. I think that's one motivational way you can do it to keep going. First, keep reminding yourself why you did this, and also take that nice picture of when you did it the first time. Yeah. So, the next slide, please. Yes. So, as I wind up, I think we can go away with a small task for us to do. I don't know if you have like your laptop on, you can maybe take a picture of it, or if you on your phone, you can just take a screenshot of it. Okay, just a small task that you can do maybe after here, or if you don't have time, you can do it over the weekend or just within this time that we've had this session. Um, so you can pick only one section of your closet. Today we're doing closet mainly. Maybe next time we shall go into other spaces in our living areas. So you can just pick one section of your closet, maybe tops, maybe dresses or scarves or any part. If it's a gentleman, maybe the section where you hang your shirt. Okay. Then pull everything out. Maybe, but I would advise you pick one item after the other so that you don't get overwhelmed. And then you put back what you love and what fits. Simply just put back what you love and what fits, and then you box the rest for donation. Simply like that. So it won't take you so long, probably 15 minutes. That's why I said you just pick one section, even 10 minutes, just one section, because if you now go into the whole closet, you'll get overwhelmed. But you can start with small places. Maybe it's a drawer where you keep your socks, maybe a drawer where you keep your bras, just small sections of your closet. You can start slowly like that. I think this will help you, Rita, if you feel overwhelmed and you lose motivation. You can just start with small sections of your closet. Don't go all out. Yeah. So I think that would do. Um, Thank you so much, Rose, and I'm I'm happy to have shared this knowledge with the guys out there. Thank you.
Thank you, Philippa. Thank you very much for taking us through the decluttering framework. I don't know if there are any questions, or we shall take questions at the end. You're still on the call. So while we wind up and still back to decluttering, when you go through that whole process, I hope we take time, if we're holding on to any clutter, to start working towards getting rid of the things that don't serve us, that we don't need. And I don't think decluttering is a one-time process, but you can get started. It will not be easy. I mean, you collect most of these items over a period of time, so going through that whole process will be pretty gruesome, but get started and have those things make their way out of your space. So today we are looking only at closets mainly, but there's also, you can declutter room by room, different areas, maybe for the kids, and you're still holding on to some of those clothes that you need to give away, maybe your bookshelf, yeah? You could also employ the container theory, where the space that you have can only accommodate the things that you need. Anything out of it, maybe you could choose the favorites, like Philippa has encouraged us. Choose out your favorites, and everything else that is out there, maybe it needs to go. And if you're to add any other items, you employ one in, one out. It is a journey, but I hope we all get to have more organized, functional closets. So when we get to that, this is what the confidence closet looks like. So what we aim to achieve is to have a wardrobe or closet that is easy for you to navigate. Maybe in future we shall get some time and also maybe have someone else take us through how to have an organized closet. But if I can share a few recommendations, if you can, there are velvet hangers. They are recommended. First of all, they don't damage clothes, and because they're also quite thin, they take up very little space. You know, some of these hangers damage our clothes. If your clothes have been on some of these very big hangers, you will realize they begin to lose shape. So if you can, you start working towards getting the velvet hangers. They are the best. I have them, so I can vouch for them. So your closet should be easy to navigate. You organize your items by maybe tops only, then you organize them according to color. It's a whole process, but yes, should be easy to navigate, well coordinated. Have your items arranged according to tops alone, maybe jeans alone, but also according to color, so you know. Also, a functional closet will help you, and also employing some of what Philippa has shared, the hanger tricks, and you will know what you use and be able to tell what you don't use. Maybe it's things that you need to give away. Then it's a different story for seasonal items. Your closet should also be functional. You use it from time to time. What you don't use, some people, I think the rule Philippa mentioned 12 months. Seasonal, a different story, but it should be functional. And then most importantly, it should be a reflection of your identity. So that marks the end of our session. Thank you very much for taking off time to join us as we talk decluttering. I hope you've picked out a thing or two. And I'd like to hear from you, your feedback, questions, comments. Maybe there's something that we missed out. And it would be beneficial to all of us that are on the call. Please, the floor is open. Ladies.
I saw some hands earlier. I think I saw Charlene. I think she was dropped off on the call. Then Live, Love, Laugh.
Thank you, Philip. I was taking us through the decluttering conversation by the closet. I love the conversation about decluttering so much, and I often try to make sure at least every quarter I try my best to declutter and stay away with what I don't need and what I don't want, and stay with what I don't need. Um, the challenge I face is how do you deal with decluttering with accessories? This time I'm meaning that the clothes or that you attach emotions to. Suddenly, I think every one of us has those clothes you attach emotions to. Either it could have been a gift, either it could have been a cost that you bought that piece of cloth, either it could be where you bought it, something that ideally turns more like a souvenir. So you find I'm decluttering and there is this shirt I have not worn suddenly in like 4 years, and I'm equally not willing to let it go because you have an attachment to it. Scenarios where you've bought a shirt and you truly love that shirt, and probably you've added on weight or lost weight, and so it doesn't fit anymore. But there is a huge resistance within you to let that shirt go. And so you find it's a couple of either shirt, either trouser, either clothes, either shoes. And so you find while you're doing the decluttering, quite often there are those that you find you have an attachment to, and it's getting harder to declutter. How do you detach and then do decluttering of those items? Thank you very much.
Um, wow, that's a hard one, especially things to do with sentimental items. Thank you so much for listening in and for that question. Sentimental items are quite tricky because um they have a kind of value to that moment you got them. Probably it was passed on to you, or like you said, where you bought it from, and probably gives you some kind of joy, you know. But I think for such items, because we don't want you to be a hoarder, you may be keeping so many things, so many sentimental items, and you end up being a hoarder. It would be good for you to keep those things that I don't know how to explain it. As long as they're not going to mix up with what you have currently, that you're currently using. You could have a secluded place specifically where to keep that, because we want you to be able to access those items that you always keep for yourself. Like they're not being in the way for what you want to use regularly. Okay. So for those sentimental items, as accessories, maybe it's a shirt, maybe it's a sweater, you could have a specific place where you keep it. Probably have a special box for them, a container that you can exclusively keep it, like maybe on top of the wardrobe, somewhere it can be safe and does not interrupt your usual routine with your outfits or other stuff. I hope that could help you. Oh, great. You're welcome. You're welcome. I could recommend you listen to or watch. There's a lady called Marie Kondo. She's a Japanese um, professional organizer, and she has a decluttering thing about keeping things that spark joy. So she has met up with worked with people who have lost loved ones and they can't let go of their things, but there's a process she takes them through to be able to choose what to keep. So I could recommend you look her up, Marie Kondo, and that could help you out. Thank you. Over to you, Rose and
Thank you,
Rita.
Pippa. Rita, our session moderator. I don't know if we still have any comments, any questions. Maybe someone who would like to add something.
Thank you so much, everybody. I'm just checking the chats to see if there are any. Live, Love, Laugh says they need to let go of a suit of their late father that they have kept for 35 years. Thank you so much, ladies. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining in. I want us to give flowers or clap. There's that carry action thing. Yeah, please give Philippa and Rose some flowers. Yeah. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining in. Our sessions are monthly. We always come up with topics, or sometimes actually people recommend topics like this one. People in the chat, people attended the previous session are the ones who actually asked for something around declutter. So if there's anything you'd like to hear, you can always ask. You can ask during the sessions, and then they could consider it for the upcoming sessions. Other than that, thank you everybody for joining in. In case you need any further information, in case you want to work on your image, in case you need consultancy, to reach out to the consultancy firm itself, you could contact the numbers on your screen, or you could reach out to Rose herself, and then she'll be able to help you with understanding your sense of fashion, etc., everything needed for you to be able to elevate your image. Other than that, thank you so much for joining. We'll see you next month, and make sure you invite a friend. Yeah, we're also planning a physical session in future so that we can, meet and have a physical consultancy. So keep that at the back of your mind. And I will call this to a close. See you next month. We love the sessions. Thank you so much, Claire. See you next month. We'll still send out the flyer and also send you emails so that you could register. Other than that, have a lovely evening. Until next time.
Bye-bye. Thank you all.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Rita.
Thank you, everybody.